guys, welcome back to another video. It's Alexei here. So in this video I want to talk about God and just like understanding when God is trying to slow down your pace. And I've had this also many times myself. It's like when I've kind of like maybe rushed into things or like done too much, or like when I was supposed to like take a nap or whatever, like rest in some way, or perhaps like just slow down in general in pace, like enjoy a moment better. And it's like small things where God leads you in your life, where like you can feel like God is leading you, like you need to really slow down in a moment to enjoy it better. Or maybe you're just going through the day in a sense way too fast, in the sense that like you don't have time, maybe you don't spend enough time reading God's word, or praying to God, and doing things with God and remembering God in your life. And you're kind of just letting things in a sense fall apart, and you're kind of like disturbing almost your own peace with the pace that you're going in. So God almost has to like force you to slow down so that you can kind of keep up in God's pace instead, which is the right pace, and not like overly work. And I also know myself, like I'm a very hardworking person naturally, and I'm a very, I would say like competitive, not necessarily because I don't really care about competition because I'm just me, but like when I work, I do work quite hard, and I'm quite a like a natural like doer kind of person, so I have to be kind of careful about those things. But like it's important for you to understand that when like God, when you can feel that God is trying to slow you down and show you that he's slowing you down, it's like you need to take that the best you can and do your best and slow down, because it's usually good for you, because God can see things that you can't see about yourself. And sometimes you might feel fine, but like okay, I'm gonna go do this thing, God kind of is like telling me not to do this thing maybe, and then like you don't think about it, but afterwards you feel like maybe you're really exhausted, or maybe you shouldn't have done that thing. Like obviously we all have choices in life, and it's not like all of these choices are necessarily always life altering, but like some things are just like good for you and your health and stuff. So sometimes it's good to just slow down and listen to the advice that God is giving you. And it's hard to also slow down in this world that's full of like distractions, and we have all these like TikToks and whatever. Like a lot of people get sucked into like watching TikToks, and then they spend and waste a bunch of time, and that's also very draining. You're consuming content, and your eyes are getting tired, and you're thinking about the content and what it's saying, and this is also mentally draining. You have to think about distractions and stuff in your life that are very mentally draining, because even like watching, like if you binge watch a lot of YouTube videos like for a long time, even like maybe 2 hours in a row, that can be also very draining in its own way, especially if you do it like after a hard work day, like you really worked hard with your purpose and you're on faith journey, and you're reading the word and so on. You might feel like extremely lethargic and like exhausted just from like doing all these activities instead of resting in the evening. A lot of people do that also. It's kind of like very what Satan kind of wants you is like in that spot where like you busy about too much. There's also the opposite extreme, of course, but busy about too much, and then what happens is you reach a point where you also like, then after you're done busying about, you also spend time on like social media and wasting and getting distracted. And these are all things that the devil wants you in a sense in a spot, because this is like you're wasting time and energy and getting mentally drained, and that makes you weaker before him, so he can tempt you easier and attack you and try to like put you down as much as possible. And that's where you really need to think about like these things. And when you're on a faith journey, that's especially when the devil wants to spiritually attack you, and he's going to spiritually attack you in different ways, and that's part of the journey here, and as part of the growth as well. But like understand that like you can guard yourself also against a lot of these like attacks just by being in a more optimal state, and finding that peace within stillness, and remembering not to rush about, coming before God more, and resting adequately when you're performing your duty or purpose and so on. And these are probably the most important things I would say, like when God is trying to slow down your pace to do. But thank you for watching. 101's description, the answer description. Thank you, helps very much. See you in the next one. Amen.